Okay. So for Compre 1, based on our discussion class, the first topic will be obligation, law on obligation. Okay. Second, law on contract. Of course, this is connected no sa sales. Okay. And credit transactions. Okay. So with regard to credit transactions, this includes pledge, na i-discuss din natin, no? Pahapyawan natin later. Pledge, chattel mortgage, and real mortgage. Okay? So this is for 15% of your grade. Okay? And ang target natin for comprehensive exam 2, which is 20% of your grade, we have here, ito pala cumulative mga kapatid ha, cumulative. Ayan, so 1 to 4, number 5. Okay, BP 22. Okay, number 6, we have Financial Rehabilitation and Insolvency Act. Okay, number 7, we have partnership. Okay, so yan yung target natin for comprehensive exam number 2. Okay? Comprehensive exam number 3. So you have 1 to 7. Of course, you have corporation. We have cooperative. Number 10, insurance. Okay? And this is 25% of your grade. Okay? Then for comprehensive exam, number 4, which is 40% of your grade 1 to 10. Okay? Number 11, we have RA. Okay, RA 9184, which is the Government Procurement Reform Act. Number 12, we have the Consumer Protection Act, focusing on lemon law and price tag. Okay. Number 13, we have bank secrecy law. 14, Truth in Lending Act. 15, we have PDIC, the Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation Law. 16, AMLA. 17, we have ease of doing business. Dito po natin dinidiscuss yung Citizens Charter, mga kapatid, no? Ilang days dapat matapos ang transaction with the government. Okay, kung simple transaction, okay? And other transactions, no? We also have e-commerce. Kaya meron na tayong electronic signature, allowed na po, no? Electronic message, okay? We also have intellectual property. Okay? We'll focus on trademark. Okay? We have copyright and patent. Pero marami pa po, no, na intellectual properties ang pwedeng included dito, no? Just the focus is the focus are TM, trademark or trade name, patent, and copyright. Of course, we have labor law. 21, we have SSS law. Okay? And last, 22, the Philippine competition law or act. Okay? So ito po yung mga topics, mga kapatid, that are included in your RFBT intake review, which are topics also in the RFBT subject ng LECPA. We call out from the TOS, no? Table of Specification. Okay? With regard to the TOS, I would just like to highlight, class, no, that topics 1 to 6, including RA 9184, Lemon Law, Price Tag Law, and Philippine Competition Act. Okay? These are the topics in part 1 of the LECPA. Okay? Part 2 of LECPA, exam based on the TOS. Okay? These are partnership, corporation, cooperative, and insurance. Okay? And part 3 of the LECPA syllabus covers, okay, bank secrecy, Truth in Lending Act, PDIC AMLA, ease of doing business, e-commerce, intellectual property, labor law, SSS law. And I forgot to include, kapatid, okay, we also have here the data, okay, Data Privacy Act. Okay, so these are the topics, okay, in the LECPA board exam. And as to the distribution of percentage or number of items or questions, okay, for part 2, we have 50%. This is 50%. Out of 100, we have 50 questions. Okay? Around 45 to 50. Okay? And for part 1, we have 30 questions. So 30%. And ito pong napakadaming items, mga kapatid, kaya tig-isa lang po yung tanong dito normal, isa, dalawa, okay, ay 20 items or 20%. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sakto. Okay, 10 topics, 20% lang po yan. Okay? So, isa, dalawang tanong. Ang paborito po dito ay AMLA. Okay? Ang nakaalat po dyan ay 4 to 6 questions. Okay? Doon sa ating LECPA syllabus or TOS. Okay? So, please be guided by this. Okay? We have discussed this with Attorney Kenneth, no? Subject to the approval of the admin. Dahil meron tayong course plan, okay? And in the course plan, there are topics included, okay? In Compre 1, 2, 3, 4. And probably, okay, may adjustment doon, okay? Now, if in case na ma-approve ito ng office, okay, as agreed with Attorney De La Cruz, then we stick with this, okay? Any adjustments, i-inform ko yung klase, okay, para maaral nyo, no? Ma-prepare nyo yung Compre exam. Again, class, one step at a time tayo. Okay, one step at a time. Okay? So you have 5 exams. Okay? Para maging full-fledged na CPA kayo, no? Exam 1, exam 2, exam 3, exam 4, and the last exam, yung pinaka-importanting exam, mga kapatid, is the LE-CPA. Okay? So, this is the CPA board exam. Okay? So, yan po ang pinaka-importante. Okay? So, hindi ko in-include dito, class, ha, ang remedial exam. And I am hoping and praying na walang mag-remedial exam sa inyo. Okay? In a sense na lahat kayo ay pumasa. Okay? So, in case lang, kung meron, kasi last batch, meron, sana wag naman, pumasa pa rin doon sa remedial exam. Okay? Para makapag-take ng LE CPA board exam. Okay? So, please be guided by this. And let us now proceed to our topic. Okay? So, let me delete. Okay, so law on obligations and contract. So you have your part 1, Articles 1156 to Article 1304 of the Civil Code. Okay? And we have here Article 1423 to 1430. This is the provision on natural law or natural obligation, I should say. And in a natural obligation, there is an obligation considered as natural when the obligation has already prescribed. Okay? When a civil obligation has prescribed due to laches. Ano ibig sabihin ng laches? Okay? Tinulugan mo yung karapatan mo, right mo. Say for example, your right to collect. Okay? Right to collect or demand payment in a written contract has a prescriptive period of 10 years. Okay? Sir, nag-demand naman ako. Nag-send naman ako ng demand letter. Okay? But the court definitely, okay, will issue, okay, an order paying, okay, mandating the debtor to pay the creditor if nagpatulong tayo sa korte. Pero kung hindi naman tayo nagpatulong sa korte, if you fail to file for a sum of collection of money, then tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang prescriptive period. Okay? So, syempre magtatampo naman yung korte. Inintay ka namin ng 10 years. Okay? Hindi ka naman assist or nagpatulong sa amin. So, it is considered as laches. And after that, the civil obligation will be converted to a natural obligation. Okay? So, that's 1423 to 1430. Sir, what will be the effect of a civil obligation compared to a natural obligation? Okay? Then we proceed to Article 1156. Okay? Kasi yung 1156, that is the civil obligation. Okay? Just to give you an overview, in a civil obligation, you can compel, okay, the other party to perform his or her obligation. Because again, obligation is a juridical necessity to give, to do, or not to do. While on the other hand, a natural obligation, okay, cannot be enforced in court. Okay? So, hindi na yan papansinin ng korte. Siyempre, parang magtatampo ang korte, ang judge, no? Because of laches. However, there is still an obligation on the part of the debtor, but that is considered as a natural obligation. Based not on a positive law or civil law, but a natural law or moral law. Okay? So, hindi mo na makokompel yung debtor to pay yung obligation. Instead, magmamakaawa ka sa kanya. Okay? So, as the creditor, ikaw na ngayon ang magmamakaawa. Dati tinataguan ka. Ngayon magmamakaawa ka sa kanya. Eh sir, bakit ako magmamakaawa? Dahil hindi mo na siya makompel, hindi mo na ma-issuehan through court ng order to pay. Okay? Eh sir, bakit kung sakaling naawa siya sa akin at nagbayad siya sa akin? What will be the effect? Pwede ba niyang bawiin yon? Ang sabi ng natural obligation, 1423 to 1430, payments made by the debtor, okay, in a natural obligation, okay, the creditor or the obligee, okay, has the right to retain the payment. Okay? So, as if fully paid na rin yun. As if, okay, valid yung payment because, as if valid yung payment in a civil obligation because, okay, it was given voluntarily by the debtor. Okay? So, hindi ba wala ng civil obligation? Extinguished na. Kaya nga as if. Di ba? Kasi natural obligation na siya. So, natural obligation, binayaran ka, wala ka ng obligasyon as the creditor to return or reimburse what you have received. Eh sir, bakit? Meron bang mga ganun na may obligasyon akong ibalik? Pumapasok dyan ang concept ng solutio in debiti. Ibig sabihin, if the payment was made involuntarily by mistake, okay, prescribed na pala, nagbayad pa ako. O di, kailangan mong ibalik as the creditor because it was given by mistake. So as if walang valid payment sa civil obligation. Okay? Pero kung binigay siya voluntarily, knowing na prescribed na, sabi niya, oo nga pare, tinaguan kita ng 10 years pero nakakaawa ka naman. Bayaran na kita ngayon. Okay. Maraming salamat ha, sabi mo naman sa kanya. The next day, naisip niyang bawiin kasi nalugi siya sa business. Pwede ba niyang bawiin yun? Hindi, because voluntarily binayaran niya. Because naturally, morally, may utang pa rin siya sa'yo. Okay? So, ganun po ang effect. So, take note of Article 1423 to 1430. Tinatanong din po yan sa board exam. And part 2 of our topic, nakita nyo naman po, no, yung flow natin doon sa Compre 1. After obligations, we have contract. Article 1305 to 1422. Now, may advice mga kapatid, no? Of course, this is a review. Okay? Accessible naman online, no? Sa online library. Like, ito, ginagamit po natin when we enrolled in law school, as well as ngayon, kapag nagre-research po tayo for preparation of pleadings and itong mga lecture, no? Yung Chan Robles, okay? Chan Robles Law Library online. You can browse, no? Okay naman sa Google na lang. Okay? My advice is you download the civil code provisions on Oblicon Sales Partnership. So, yung buong civil code, okay? Padaanan nyo muna yung mga civil code provision. Okay? Memorize and understand. Then, after that, okay, yung mga lecture notes natin, okay, on discussions on the selected provisions, yun yung mag-focus tayo for the examination. Okay? Familiarize yourselves with the provision of the law. Okay? So let's proceed. What is an obligation? Again, obligation is the juridical necessity to give, to do, or not to do. Ang tanong, okay, bakit wala pong necessity or juridical necessity not to give? Rather, yes, not to give. Yung to give, okay, this is an obligation which is considered as real obligation because you have to deliver something. Yung to do, this is a personal obligation because you have to render service, to do something. Personal obligation. Yung not to do, okay, as to our question a while ago, bakit walang not to give? Because by not giving, by not delivering, you're not doing something. So included na po siya dito. Okay? Kasama na siya sa not to do, which is also a personal obligation. Okay? So there are different kinds of obligations. Definitely, nabanggit na natin kanina, we have the civil and the natural obligation. Okay? So it can be compelled, okay, through court order. Ito naman, hindi siya pwedeng i-compel. And there is, again, just to have a recap, a natural obligation when the civil obligation has been extinguished, okay, by prescription. So hindi po lahat ng modes of extinguishing the obligation will convert in civil obligation to natural. Okay? It should be through prescription. Okay? The definition provided by the law establishes the unilateral act of the debtor as patrimonial obligation either to give, to do, or not to do. Pag sinabi nating debtor, this is also known as obligor. Okay? Obligor. Si creditor naman, okay, we call the creditor as obligee. Okay? So, yan po, no? Obligee. Okay. Now, aside from civil and natural, na mention na natin, may real obligation and personal obligation. Okay? So, real obligation again is an obligation which requires delivery. Okay? Kaya to give. And personal, it is to do. Okay? So, may mga contract later that we are going to discuss known as consensual and real contract. Okay? So, in a consensual contract, just to have an overview and in connection with this kind of obligation. In a consensual contract, the essential elements, okay, are COC, which is consent, object, and consideration. Okay? A contract is the meeting of the minds between the parties as to. So nag-meet yung mind, that's consent. As to what? As to the object and consideration. Say for example, I told the Assistant Dean Francis, "Sir, gusto mo bang bilhin itong bench watch ko?" Okay? "Pakita nga, attorney," sabi niya. So nung tinignan ni Sir Francis, "Magkano yan, sir?" "Kahit 3,000 na lang, sir." "Uy, pwede bang 2,500 na lang?" sabi ni Sir Francis. "Sige sir, sure. 2,500 na lang po." Okay. Sabi niya, "Sige sir, bayaran kita tomorrow." "Okay sir, deliver ko naman tomorrow." Question. Since hindi ko pa siya na-deliver, is there an existing contract? Okay? Sir, ano po ba yung kontrata natin na pinag-uusapan? In that case, it is a contract of sale between me and Assistant Dean Francis, Sir Francis Kaliwan. Okay? In determining the existence of a contract in connection with obligation, okay? Because an obligation has different sources. Okay? Mamaya i-discuss natin. Is there a contract? Yes. Eh sir, hindi mo pa na-deliver ah. Wala ka pang to give. Okay? But the contract that exists in that scenario is a consensual contract. And a consensual contract is perfected by mere consent as to the object, which is the bench watch, and the consideration, which is 2,500. So nag-meet yung mind namin, i-deliver ko yung bench watch, babayaran naman ni Assistant Dean yung ating bench watch worth 2,500. Okay? Sir, in a consensual contract, what is the obligation? My obligation is to give. Okay? So iba naman po yun. To give yung obligation ko. Ayan. And the obligation of Assistant Dean is also to give payment. Okay? So alamin mo, mapa-perfect ba yung contract kahit hindi pa nagagawa yung obligation? Kung oo, consensual. Okay? Sir, may mga kontrata ba na kailangang i-deliver na bago pa ma-perfect or magkaroon ng existing contract? The answer is yes. Okay? Say for example, sabi ko naman kay Sir Francis, Assistant Dean, pautang naman oh. Attorney, magkano bang uutangin mo? Yan. Pwede po bang 10,000? Sir, pag nagpapautang ako, syempre may security, alam mo naman yan. Baka naman na hindi ka makapagbayad. Sige sir, ito po, yung bench watch ko, pwede po bang maging security? In connection with credit transaction, which will be part of your Compre 1. Okay? Sabi niya, sige sir, pag hindi ako nakapagbayad, ibibigay ko tong bench watch ko sa'yo. And i-auction mo na lang, sir. Ibenta mo na lang. Okay? Sige, sir. I-deliver ko ba yan sa'yo, sir? Assistant Dean? Kung sinabi ni Assistant Dean na wag mo nang i-deliver, sir, basta yan ay security. Okay? So that is considered as mortgage, chattel mortgage. Delivery is not required to perfect the mortgage. Pero pag sinabi niyang, ay sir, sige, dapat i-deliver mo para hawak ko naman. Para meron akong security na pinanghahawakan. Okay? Sabi naman ni Sir Francis na kailangang i-deliver, dineliver ko. Sir, paano pag hindi ko pa din-deliver? Okay? In a contract known as real contract, mga kapatid. Okay? So this is COC, that's consensual contract. In a real contract, okay, the essential elements are COCD. Like, in that case, we have pledge. Okay, contract of pledge. Delivery is essential, necessary, in order to perfect the pledge. Okay? May consent. Okay? Na gusto niya akong pautangin, gusto ko rin naman umutang. Object, it is the loan. Consideration, the amount. Okay? Pero kailangan kong i-deliver. Yan. Yung thing as a security para may pledge. Okay? Sir, paano pag wala namang i-deliver na thing, pero may security pa rin? Uy, chattel mortgage yun. Sir, paano pag walang security? Walang dineliver na thing, wala ding security na hindi i-deliver. Di loan lang. Okay? Contract of loan. Ayan po. Ano? Sir, you have mentioned that there are sources of obligation, one of which is contract. Ayan. Kaya, sinimulan natin class sa contract. Okay? Nagkakaroon ng obligation si Sir Francis to pay because of the contract of sale. Nagkakaroon ako ng obligation to deliver because of the contract of sale. Okay? Nagkakaroon ako ng obligation to deliver the thing, pledge, because of the loan. Okay? So mag-i-exist kapag ka nag-deliver ka ng thing. Ayan po ano. Nagkakaroon ako ng obligation to pay for the amortization as well as interest or the principal plus interest dahil sa loan. Okay? Siyempre, kung may obligation ang isang party, may right naman yung isang party. Yun ang kabaliktaran, mga kapatid. The obligor has the obligation. Okay? While the obligee has the right in relation to that obligation. Okay? Like obligation of the seller, okay, to deliver. Kabila naman, obligation of the buyer to pay. Okay? Obligation of the buyer to pay. Kabila naman sa seller, right of the seller to receive payment. Obligation naman ng seller to deliver, right of the buyer to accept and receive the goods. Okay? So mapag-aaralan nyo rin to class sa AFAR, no? Particularly PFRS 15. Okay? And in PFRS 15, I would just like to highlight yung 5-step model. In a 5-step model, you have C, O, P, A, R. Okay? Ayan. you have here approved contract. So in relation to the obligation, there must be approved contract. Okay? And the contract will indicate who are the parties, what are the rights, the terms and conditions, and the commercial substance. And yung pangalawang step is to determine the performance obligation. So what are the obligations of the parties? Particularly, syempre, revenue recognition yan. It is the seller. Okay, what's the obligation of the seller before mag-recognize ng revenue? And P is the price. How much is the price? So that is the consideration. Then allocate the price to the different obligation, then recognize revenue. Okay? Based on performance completed to date. Ibig sabihin kung ano na yung nagawa mo. Okay? So kung kailangan mong magbigay to give the obligation at nagawa mo na yung i-deliver mo yung materials, i-deliver mo yung equipment, recognize the revenue from that contract. Eh sir, yung to do, kailangan mong mag-render ng training sa mga empleyado, kailangan mong mag-ocular inspection, see for example in franchise contract, then you can now recognize revenue, okay, as to the services rendered. Kaya may service revenue. Okay, so that's in line with PFRS 15. So obligation, okay, again, is a juridical necessity to give, to do, or not to do. Okay. So what is a juridical necessity? Bakit siya juridical necessity? So dito class, highlight natin yung to give, to do, or not to do. What is juridical necessity? Okay? Juridical necessity means the rights and duties arising from obligation are legally demandable. Legally demandable. Okay? And the courts of justice may be called upon. So pwede kang magpatulong kay judge. Pwede kang mag-file, okay, ng civil action. Okay? At this point, class, I would like to highlight criminal action and civil action. Pag sinabing criminal action, may karampatang kulong. Okay? So, like yung mga violation ng VAUSI, okay? Violence Against Women and Children, RA 9262, o kaya naman sa drugs, etc. O kaya naman sa RPC, Revised Penal Code. Kapag yun ang na-violate mo, mga kapatid, okay? Criminal law ang tawag doon. So, nag-file ng complaint, okay, sa fiscal muna, okay, and yung fiscal magpa-file naman sa judge, and kaya may People of the Philippines versus Juan de la Cruz. Okay? So, there is, okay, a criminal action. Okay? Ang magiging penalty pag criminal action crime, kulong. Okay? In connection with civil action under Article 100 of the RPC, i-highlight natin mamaya. Every person criminally liable, as a rule, is also civilly liable. Okay? So meron ka ding civil liability kung ikaw si Juan de la Cruz. And as a civil liability, okay, may tinatawag tayong damages. So, pwedeng civil action lang ang i-file, hindi criminal. Okay? Pwede ring sabay, pwede ring criminal. So pag criminal action, prosecutor ang maghahandle ng case. As well, of course, yung civil action niya. Pero kung civil action ang gusto mo naman, pwedeng private, okay, lawyer. At ang magiging effect niyan is pag civil, bayad ng damage, payment. Ngayon, juridical necessity because you have the right, okay, arising from obligation, which of course legally demandable, and the Court of Justice may be called upon through proper action to order the performance. Mag-issue po ng order. Eh sir, paano pag hindi po sinunod yung order ng judge? O di magkakaroon tayo ng problema dyan. Contempt, okay, etc. So, ibig sabihin class, no? Itong to give, to do, or not to do, yung obligations na yan ay pwedeng i-compel through court action. Okay? However, there must be a source. Bakit kailangan i-compel? Kasi meron tayong sources. Para may pagbasihan naman yung korte, mga kapatid. Say for example, in a contract of sale. Okay? Diyan sa kontrata na yan, may basis ang court. to compel the debtor or the buyer to pay because there is an existing contract. Okay? Contract po yun. Take note, ang sources natin, remember po, ang acronym LCD. Okay? LCDQQ. Okay? So, yan po yung ating acronym. It could be based on law, on contract, delic, quasi-delic, or quasi-contract. Okay? Quasi-delic or quasi-contract. Okay? If the obligation is based on law, sabi to, no, obligations arising from law are not presumed. So there should be provisions, okay, of the law stating that these are the obligations. Say for example, family code. Okay, family code. Sabi po dun sa first question ng CPA board exam namin dati, 2010. Which governs this statement? Husband supports his wife, wife supports her husband. A law, B delic, C quasi-delic, D contract. Okay? I answered law, then I changed it to contract. So, di ganun po yung nangyari, mga kapatid. Ano? But the correct answer is law. Eh, bakit po law? Okay? Because support provision is indicated in the family code. Okay? So, legally demandable. Okay? Kaya kung sakali, mga kapatid, no, yung mga nangyayari sa totoong buhay na naghihiwalay po yung mag-asawa, okay? Not through annulment, hiwalay lang po, no? May mga ganun po. Okay? Arrangement na nila na hindi naman annulled yung marriage nila pero separate in bed. Okay? Pero kung may mga anak, dapat may mga support pa rin. Okay? So pwede pa rin pong mag-ask ng support. Okay? Sustento. Okay? In layman's term. Okay? Contract, pwede po na kapag may breach of contract, go to the court. Okay? And ask for the assistance of the court to compel the other party to pay for the damages. Delic, pag sinabi nating delic, these are acts or omission punishable by law. Okay? Like violation sa RPC, nabanggit na natin kanina, okay? Every person criminally liable is also civilly liable. Quasi-delic, mga kapatid, okay? As a source of obligation, you can go, okay, to the court, okay, and file for damages due to the negligence. And po, no, inote na lang natin dito, negligence of the party resulting to, okay, resulting to injury. Okay? And this injury, mga kapatid, yan yung basis mo kung bakit ka nagpa-file ng damages. Mamaya po, i-discuss natin ang Article 1170. Again, for delic, these are acts or omissions punishable by law. In relation to Article 100 of the RPC, okay, every person criminally, okay, liable is also civilly liable. This is the general rule, mga kapatid, no? General rule. Yan. Because there are instances wherein a person is criminally, okay, liable, but there is no civil obligation. Say for example, yung contempt. Okay? Ayan po, no? Contract, of course, alam nyo na yan, no? COC. Yan ang discussion natin kanina. Or may COCD. Yan. And we have here law. Okay? We have mentioned yung provision. Okay? Hindi mo dapat ina-assume, okay, ang obligation from law. Pag sinabi sa yung, uy, may obligasyon kang magbayad ng tax. Bakit? Kasi kumikita ka. Anong basis mo? Ayan. It is the NIRC, the National Internal Revenue Code, okay, as amended by Train Law, as amended by Create Law, and further amended by Ease of Paying Taxes, recently passed na batas. Okay, so these are the obligations of a party, okay, arising from law. O kaya naman, uy, pag-aralin mo yung anak mo. Bakit naman? Obligasyon mo yun. Saan galing yan? Wala namang kaming kontrata na mag-asawa na pinirmahan na ako yung magpapaaral. Hindi. Kahit wala kayong kontrata, hindi naka-state or stipulate dun sa marriage contract ninyo. As the father or as the mother, you are legally obliged by the family code. Or ito naman pong quasi-contract. Ang tandaan nyo lang po sa quasi-contract class, no? This is already a review. So you have SINGO. SINGO. What is SINGO? Okay? Quasi-contract, again, is a source of obligation. Yan po, no? Wherein the parties has the obligation to reimburse. Ganun na po itandaan natin. Bakit ganun? Bakit reimburse? Because this is a lawful, unilateral, and voluntary act. Okay? Ayan po, no? Lawful, unilateral, voluntary act. Unilateral. Kailangan mong ibalik kasi may solution indemnity. And in a solution indemnity, you have received something and you do not have the right to receive it. Wala kang karapatan na tanggapin yun. Example, dineliver yung parcel sa bahay ninyo. Okay? Pero hindi naman ikaw yung intended dapat na makatanggap. Okay? Mali. Dapat yung kapitbahay pala. Tinanggap mo. Okay? And it was given to you by mistake. Nagkamali. So anong dapat mong gawin? In order to prevent unjust enrichment, okay? Which is the reason, okay? Or the basis of quasi-contract, mga kapatid, no? Yan po yung iniiwasan ng law, unjust enrichment at the expense of others. Okay? Kumita ka, natanggap mo, at the expense of others. Ibig sabihin, kailangang ibalik mo. That is solution indemnity. And these are the essential requisites or requirements. You have no right to receive it. And it was given to you by mistake. Quasi-contract. For NG, we have here the so-called negosyorum gestio. Okay? Ang tandaan mo dito mga kapatid ay there is an abandoned property or business. Abandoned. Okay? Property or business. Without authority of the owner, abay ikaw po, nagmagandang loob, minanage mo. So this is voluntary management. Okay? Voluntary management of an abandoned property or business without authority of the owner. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka nagpaalam sa kanya, kaya pala unilateral. Because a quasi-contract, by the way, quasi means as if parang may kontrata tayo, pero wala. Okay? Kaya pala, sir, walang kontrata kasi ang kontrata, it should be a bilateral, hindi siya unilateral. May meeting of the mind. Yes. Dito sa negosyorum gestio, without authority, hindi ka nag-seek ng consent from the owner. Voluntarily, inayos mo. Nakita mo, yung lupa ay puro talahib. Okay? Wala namang nakalagay mga kapatid na no trespassing. Anong ginawa mo? Nagtanong-tanong ka, kanino ba itong lupa na ito? Baka pag bahayan pa ng mga ahas. Anong ginawa mo? Pinalinisan mo. Gumastos ka ba? Yes. Okay? Pwede mo bang i-reimburse yung gastos mo from the owner? Yes. That is based on quasi-contract reimbursement. Bakit? Okay? Because if hindi ka ni-reimburse, unjustly enriched ka. Unjustly enriched siya, I should say, kasi nakatipid siya. At your expense, ikaw ang gumastos. Okay? So, pwede ba niya sabihin, pakialamero ka kasi ng property, hindi mo naman property yan eh. Tapos nilinisan mo. Okay? Siyempre, nagmagandang loob ka lang naman. Without authority of the owner, you voluntarily manage the property. Okay? Nagtanong-tanong ka naman kung sino yung may-ari, no? Pero mga kapatid, based on law, it's up to you sa totoong buhay, 'di ba? Nagmagandang loob ka, pinalinisan mo, okay? So yung mga tala-talahib diyan, okay? Nakat, pinaayos mo, and then nung dumating yung may-ari, naningil ka sa kanya, hindi siya nagbayad, okay? Kasi nakialam ka daw ng property niya, okay? It's up to you sa totoong buhay kung gusto mo pa ring singilin. Ngayon, kung gusto mo pa ring singilin at ayaw niya magbayad, go to the court. Okay? Use this concept of negosyorum gestio para ma-compel, ma-order ni court yung performance, which is to pay. Okay? And speaking of order to pay, okay? That is an obligation to do, or rather to give, no? To give. An obligation to do, mga kapatid, no? Ito po, constitutionally granted right sa Bill of Rights. No person shall be compelled to do something against their will. Okay? So kung ang obligation ay to do, you cannot ask for specific performance. Okay? You cannot ask for specific performance because an obligation to do, okay? At ayaw niyang gawin, if you are being compelled, that is tantamount to involuntary servitude. And an involuntary servitude, mga kapatid, slavery yun. Bawal po yun. Okay? So, ayan po ano. So, dito, negosyorum gestio. Kaya yung iba ang ginagawa naman ganito. Sa totoong buhay, no? Inabandon, nilinisan, voluntarily minanage. Anong ginawa? Pinagkakitaan. Ginawang pay parking. O sige, hindi ka magbayad, pero kumikita ako dito. Baliktad naman ngayon. Di ba? Uy, pinagkakitaan mo yung lupa ko. Okay? Nilinisan ko eh. Kailangan ko namang ma-recoup, mabawi yung gastos ko. Kumikita ka na. Sabi naman ng may-ari, without my authority. Kaya hati tayo dyan, ha? Makikishare ako sa'yo, ha? Sabi mo naman, uy, wala naman tayong contract. Uy, tama. Wala tayong contract. Kasi hindi tayo bilaterally nag-usap na ima-manage mo, wala akong consent, dun sa object na property ko at yung consideration, yung ibabayad mo sa aking renta. Yan. Wala tayong usapan. Pero, kung hindi mo ko bibigyan, i-reimburse mo naman yung kita ko, I will be unjustly enriched at your expense. Unjustly enriched. Okay? Sorry, you will be unjustly enriched at my expense, I should say. So kung ganun, pwede ka naman as the owner go to the court, quasi-contract. Okay, so yan po, no? So you have to, again, take note of LCDQQ. And these are the sources of obligation. Okay. Now, let's proceed to the next concept. Ito pala, mga example natin, mga kapatid, ha? Example on obligation to give. Obligation of the debtor to pay an amount due to the creditor. Obligation of the buyer to pay the price as well as the obligation of the seller to deliver the goods sold. Obligation to do. Obligation of a carpenter to build the house. Obligation of an accountant, okay, to prepare for the FS. Obligation of the auditor to audit the FS. Diba? So that's to do. Obligation not to do, obligation of the citizen not to steal, not to kill, okay? Obligation not to do, okay? In a contract, example po, meron kang contract of lease, di ba? In a contract of lease, you have obligation to give. Ano po yun? To give monthly rent, to give advance payment, and security deposit of 3 months. In a contract of lease, you also have the obligation not to do, O, baka nakalagay po doon sa mga provision ng kontrata po as the basis, the source, no? O, ito po, you are not allowed to sublease, not to do po yun. Okay? So, hindi lang law kapag ka-obligation not to do. Pwedeng sa contract naka-indicate yung mga pwedeng gawin at hindi pwedeng gawin. Okay? Bawal ka din, aside from mag-sublease, to do major repairs, no? Ibig sabihin, hindi mo pwedeng i-modify yung layout nung bahay or nung kwarto. Yung say for example, one bedroom yan. Pwede ko bang bakbakin na lang? Tanggalin na lang yung divider para maging studio type na maluwag? Ay bawal. That's obligation not to do. Okay? Okay, what are the essential elements of an obligation? Remember the acronym PALO. Okay, PALO. Or PAVO. Yan. Passive subject, active subject. Vinculum juris, juridical tie, or legal tie. Okay, pag sinabi nating passive, mga kapatid, pag sinabi sa'yo, you're too passive. Okay, wala ka masyadong ginagawa. You're too active. Ikaw naman, galaw ka ng galaw. Napaka-active mo. Di ba? Parang ganon. So, in an obligation, we have the active and the passive subject. And the subject, siya po yung parties. Okay? Sila po yung parties. Pag sinabing active, siya yung actively magko-collect. Kaya siya po yung tinatawag nating creditor or obligee. Siyempre, yung passive, mga kapatid, para madaling tandaan, walang gagawin. Maghihintay lang ako kung maniningil siya. Okay? Kung hindi siya maningil, thank you. Kung maniningil naman siya, tataguan ko siya. Ay mga ganon, mali po yun mga kapatid ha. Pero ganon ang nangyayari sa totoong buhay. Okay? So, passive subject, debtor. Okay? Or the obligor. And active subject is the creditor or the obligee. Okay? Vinculum juris, juridical tie or legal tie. So, pag sinabing tie, this is the bridge between the subjects, active and passive. And I would like to highlight yung diniscuss na natin kanina, LCD-QQ. Ito po ang nagbabind sa dalawa. Okay? Bakit ba kasi naging debtor ka niya? Kasi may contract kami. Ano yun? Contract of loan. Bakit ba kasi naging obligor ka niya? Kasi bumili ako sa kanya ng goods. Ay, contract of sale. Yan. Bakit ba kasi obligor ka ng obligee? Ba't kailangan mo magbigay ng sustento? Ay, kasi support law. Bakit ka obligor? Okay? Ng obligee, kailangan mong magbayad ng damages. Kasi nabangga ko yung sasakyan niya. Tapos kinasuhan niya ako ng reckless driving. Uy, delic. Delic. Okay? Bakit ba kasi obligor ka? Kailangan mo magbayad sa kanya ng damages. Kinasuhan ka ba niya? Hindi. Bakit ka naman kailangan magbayad? May kontrata ba kayo na paparada ka lang tapos babanggain ka niya? Uy, walang ganun, walang ganung kontrata. O di hindi contract. O di hindi delic ang pinanggalingan. May batas bang nagsasabing bayaran mo siya? Wala naman. Bakit naman? Ba't mo babayaran? Nabangga ko nga siya. Dapat kasuhan ka niya para magbayad ka. Uy, ang sabi naman ni quasi-delic, as if, ayan, as if, parang kinasuhan na niya ako. Parang meron na akong acts or omission punishable by law. Okay? Quasi-delic. Pero pasalamat siya, hindi ko siya kinasuhan ng reckless driving. Diba? So wala kang criminal liability. Pero may civil liability ka. Sir, akala ko ba Article 100, every person criminally liable is civilly liable. Kung kinasuhan ka, delic ang source. Kung hindi ka kinasuhan, pasalamat ka. Quasi-delic ang source naman nun. Okay? Kaya yung iba, nag-ano na lang, nagko-compromise. Uy, wag mo na akong kasuhan. Aksidente naman eh. Nawalan ako ng preno eh. Uy, negligence yun. Dapat sinecheck mo yung preno mo bago ka nagda-drive. Tapos sa highway ka pa nagda-drive. Buti na lang walang masyadong nangyari sa amin. Yung sasakyan, ano gagawin sa sasakyan? Kung tatakbuhan mo kami, kakasuhan kita ng reckless driving. Pero kung mag-agree tayo, ikaw mag-shoulder ng lahat ng pagpapagawa, plus syempre, anong gagamitin ko pagpapasok ako sa trabaho? Okay? So, bigyan mo ako ng transpo allowance. O mag-agree tayo. O quasi-delic ang pinanggalingan yan. Okay? As if there is a crime, quasi, di ba? Negligence resulting to injury. Okay. O kaya naman, bakit ka ba kasi obligor ng obligee? Kasi kailangan kong ibalik ito eh. Bakit mo ibabalik? Hindi pala sa akin. Hindi pala ako yung intended na dapat makatanggap. Tapos by mistake lang binigay. Ay, ganun. Ang tawag dyan, quasi-contract, solution indemnity. As if may kontrata kaming ibabalik ko. Bakit kailangan mong bayaran yung yung pagpapaayos dun sa property mo, property mo yan. Bahala naman siya dapat dyan. Kasalanan mo ba? Napakialamero siya? Nilinisan niya yung hindi niya property? Diba? Minsan mga kapatid, sometimes, yung pagiging pakialamero natin, okay? Kaya nga mind your own business, no? Pero kung in good, okay? Or with good intention, I should say, it's up to you na. Singilin mo man o hindi, at least hindi yan babahayan or gagawing lungga ng mga, di ba? Ahas, okay? Etc. Okay? So, pinalinisan ko. Okay? Ngayon, it's up to me kung ipapa-reimburse ko. Legally, can you demand for reimbursement? Yes, because there is quasi-contract. Okay? That is known as negotiorum gestio. Sir, sabi nyo kanina, SINGO. Ano naman yung O? Yan po yung others. Others. Reimbursement. Example. Alam ng kapatid mo na meron kang babayarang taxes. Nag-file ka ng form. Should say form. 1701. Baka tanungin sa integ review nyo sa tax. What is the BIR form to be filed by an individual taxpayer? O the BIR form 1701 kapag ka-annual. Pag quarterly, may Q, 1701Q. Kapag corporation, partnership, GPP, 1702. Kung quarterly, may Q. Okay? Nag-file ka ng annual income tax. Ang deadline, of course, on or before April 15. Okay? Alam ng kapatid mo. Tapos wala ka palang pambayad. Anong ginawa ng kapatid mo? Siya nang nagbayad. Okay? May agreement ba kayo? May kontrata ba kayong babayaran niya muna ngayon? Kung oo, may kontrata tapos i-reimburse mo siya, the source of obligation, the juridical tie, legal tie is contract. Pero kung nagulat ka, binayaran niya. Nung magbabayad ka na, okay, madodouble pay ka na. So anong dapat mo gawin? I-reimburse mo siya. Yan. As if may kontrata kayong i-reimburse mo siya. Okay? Because if you fail to reimburse your brother or sister, you will be unjustly enriched at the expense of your brother or sister. Mga kapatid, sa totoong buhay, ang pinakamahirap na pahiramin, kapatid. Okay? Dahil normally, ang kapatid, ang utang, kalimutan. Okay? So yan po, At normal lang po yun sa mga magkakapatid. Okay? Kaya may advice mga kapatid na i-apply nyo. Kung pinautang mo yung kapatid mo at ang hirap niyang singilin, i-apply mo sa extinguishment of obligation ang tinatawag nating compensation. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Utangan mo rin siya, mga kapatid, para magkaroon lang ng legal compensation. May utang ako sa'yo, may utang ka rin sa akin. Okay? May babayaran dapat ako sa'yo, may babayaran ka dapat sa akin. Quits na tayo. Legally compensated. Okay? So, yan yung vinculum juris or legal tie. Yung LCD-QQ. Okay? So, more of this will be discussed later. Okay? And of course, the object, or also known as prestation. Prestation. Okay? Prestation. Ano ba kasing pinag-uusapan natin sa kontrata? Ano ba yung kontrata natin? Contract of lease. Okay? So, uupahan mo yung property. That's the object. Okay? Ano yung tie? Ano yung nag-bind sa atin as lessor-lessee? It is the contract. Okay? That's the object. Yung building. Okay? As to creditor and debtor, ano naman ang nag-bind sa atin? Contract of loan. What's the object? The loan amount. As the seller and buyer, anong nag-bind sa atin? Contract of sale. Ano yung object? The thing to be delivered. Okay, so ganun po mga kapatid, no? Take note of pavo or palo. Example. On January 15, 2020, Mang Yutang borrowed from Mr. Ino Tangan amounting to 500,000, which is payable in 10 monthly installment with interest of 1% per month. So sino po dito ang passive subject? It is the debtor. So si Mang Yutang, siya po ang umutang from Mr. Inutangan. The debtor, passive, Mang Yutang. Active, creditor, Mr. Inutangan. Vinculum juris, it is contract. The legal tie is the contract of loan. And the object is the loan amount, 500,000 with interest. What are the sources of obligation? As we have mentioned kanina, okay, LCDQQ under Article 1157 of the Civil Code, obligation arises from law, contract, quasi-contract, acts or omission punishable by law, which is also known as delict, and quasi-delict. Okay? So yan po, no? LCDQQ, or kung gusto nyo ganito acronym, walang problema. This is the provision under Article 1157. So law. Obligations derived from law are not presumed, as we have mentioned kanina. Only those expressly determined in the new Civil Code or in special laws are demandable and shall be regulated by the precepts of the law which establishes them. Okay? Sabi natin kanina, juridical necessity, no? Okay, juridical necessity, you can compel through court order. So ito po, obligation derived from law are not presumed. So dapat meron naka-state, okay, na obligasyon. Obligation to support, okay? Obligation to pay for taxes, etc. Example, ito po, no? Okay? Nabanggit natin kanina, taxes, support, okay? Obligation, say for example, to in transportation, okay? Ngayon, meron tayong jeepney modernization, okay? At yan po ang recent, no, na news ay may mga tumututol. Siyempre, mafi-phase out daw yung kanilang jeep. One of the obligation kasi doon ng mga jeepney operators and drivers ay mag-consolidate. Okay? Mag-consolidate. Pumasok sa cooperative. Eh sino nagko-compel sa amin na dapat gawin yan? Yung batas, 'di ba? Yung jeepney modernization. Pag hindi ka sumali doon, sabi doon sa batas, then pwedeng ma-phase out yung sasakyan mo. Okay? Hindi ka na pwedeng mag-operate. Okay? Colorum na. Yan. Now, from contract, mga kapatid, obligations arising from contracts have the force of law between the contracting parties. Kaya nga, class, ang kontrata ay batas between the parties. Okay? They can stipulate whatever they want in a contract as long as it is not contrary to LMCPOP. Law, moral, okay? Public order, okay? Public policy, and customs, okay? LMCPOP. Okay? And it should be complied with in good faith. Ayan. Hindi dapat bad faith kasi kung bad faith mo siya i-comply, you can be held liable for damages. Okay? Mamaya i-discuss natin Article 1170. Ito po yung nabanggit ko, no? As a rule, contract is the law between the contracting parties. Hence, the parties are bound to comply with the express agreement or stipulation, as well as all consequences, which according to their nature, may be in keeping with good faith, usage, and law. Okay, so nabanggit na natin to. Contract could either be classified as consensual or real. Okay? Consensual contract is one where its perfection requires concurrence of three essential elements such as consent, object, and consideration. Pag dinagdagan mo po ng D, delivery. Okay? Take note ha, delivery sa perfection. Iba naman yung delivery sa consummation stage. Pag delivery sa perfection ang kailangan para ma-exist ang kontrata, that is a real contract like contract of pledge, contract of comodatum, contract of mutuum. Okay? Pero kung yung delivery ay hindi sa perfection stage, so this is in the perfection stage to exist the contract, okay? To give birth to a contract, kundi sa consummation stage. Kung hindi yung tinatawag nating performance of obligation, delivery is required. Ay, baka naman contract of sale lang yan. Okay? COC, may existing contract ka na. And yung delivery, gagawin mo pa lang yung to give when you perform your obligation during the consummation stage. Pero kung ito po ay required during the perfection stage, then this is a real contract. Okay? Consensual contract again is one where its perfection requires COC, while real contract requires delivery. Quasi-contract, certain lawful, ito po yung acronym natin kanina, lawful, unilateral, and voluntary act, give rise to juridical relation of quasi-contract to the end that no one shall be unjustly enriched at the expense of another or benefited at the expense of another. Kinds of quasi-contract. Okay? So, ano na lang to class, no? Rundown na lang natin sa mga na-discuss kanina. Okay? Review, negosyorum gestio, solution indemnity, and of course, other quasi-contract under Title 17, Chapter 1, Section 3 of the New Civil Code. Okay. Negosyorum gestio, whoever voluntarily takes charge of the agency or management of the business or property of another without any power from the latter or authority is obliged to continue the same until the termination of affairs, okay, and its incidents, or to require the person concerned to substitute him if the owner is in the position to do so, as if may kontrata. Okay? So, kunyari, inabandon o kaya naman pinalinisan, sabi natin kanina, sinisingil mo na siya. Kung yun lang ang ginawa mo. Pero kung pinalinisan mo, yung property na parang abandoned, okay? And pinagkakakitaan mo kasi pinapapay parking mo, ituloy mo yung, okay, nasimulan as if meron kayong kontrata. Pero dapat bigyan mo yung owner, even if without power from the latter. Pag nalaman niya, syempre, anong mararamdaman niya sa totoong buhay? Pinagkakakitaan mo yung property niya. Okay? So, bigyan mo. Lalo na kung yan po, no? Ay pinatigil ka, okay? Stop mo na. Or siya na yung magti-take over, stop mo na. Pero pagka wala naman siyang reklamo, bigyan mo ng share, tuloy-tuloy lang yan. Eh sir, question. Sir, what if yung property ng Tala-Talahib merong pader? Yung mga yero, no? Pader-pader, no? May yero. So, enclosed siya. Pwede ko bang pasukin yun? Bawal. Eh sir, paano pag wala yung mga yero na harang? Pero may nakalagay doon, no trespassing. Okay? Bawal din mga kapatid. Okay? Dahil, sinabi na no trespassing, pag pumasok ka pa rin doon, class, imagine, you will be liable for trespassing. Okay? Ang source ng obligation mo will be delict. Hindi na quasi contract, no? So, yung sinasabi natin sa negosyorum gestio, it must be lawful. So, pag nagsimula sa unlawful act, hindi na siya pwedeng quasi-contract. Voluntary, oo. Unilateral, oo. Pero hindi na siya lawful. Okay? So, take note of that. Okay? Requisites. Paano? Officious manager voluntarily assumes the management or agency of the business. The property must be neglected or abandoned. Okay, so wala dapat doon, no trespassing. There is no authorization from the owner, either express or implied. An assumption of management must be done in good faith. P, the property must be abandoned or neglected. Okay? Assumption of management must be in good faith. Okay? Kaya nga voluntary, lawful. No authorization. Kasi kung authorized ka ng owner, hindi yan quasi-contract. Authorized ka, bilateral. So contract na po ang pinag-uusapan. And the officious manager voluntarily manages the property. Obligation of the officious manager. Okay, so take note of this, no? The officious manager shall perform his duties with all diligence of a good father of the family. Okay, so that is the general standard of care. Diligence of a good father of the family. No? To pay the damages which through his fault or negligence may be suffered by the owner or property or the business under management. Okay, kunyari mga kapatid, yung property na yan, abandoned, no? May building, etc. Nasunog, kunyari. O di, fault mo yun. Pay for damages. The courts may, however, increase or moderate the indemnity according to the circumstance of each case. If the officious manager delegates to another person all or some his duties, siya ang nag-manage. Ang tawag doon, officious manager. Ito po yun, without the authority of the owner. Tapos, pina-manage niya sa ibang tao. Dinelegate niya. Okay? He shall be liable. So, as if yung officious manager, siya ang principal nung delegate niya. Okay? Yung agent niya. So, the act of the agent is the act of the principal. He shall be liable for the acts of the delegate without prejudice to the direct obligation of the latter towards the owner of the business. Okay? So, without prejudice to direct obligation of the latter, yung delegate toward the owner of the business. So, pwede mong singilin yung officious manager. The responsibility of two or more, ito tinatanong sa board exam, no? Paano pag dalawa ang makulit at nag-manage? So what will be the effect? Okay? The responsibility of two or more officious manager shall be solidary. Ibig sabihin, okay, kung solidary mga kapatid, okay, one for all for one. Pwede mong singilin si Juan de la Cruz ng buo kahit na si Pedro ang nagkamali. Okay? May negligent act in managing an abandoned property. Unless the management, sabi dito unless, so general rule, solidary sila. Unless the management was assumed to save the thing or business from imminent danger. Ayan po mga kapatid. Extinguishment of management. The management is extinguished when the owner repudiates or puts an end. Itigil mo na. Yung nung nalaman niya, itigil mo na yung ginagawa mong pag-manage sa property. When the officious manager withdraws, di voluntarily, ayaw na niyang ituloy, subject to provision of Article 2144, by the death, civil interdiction, insanity, or insolvency of the owner. Okay? Or the officious manager. Okay? So these are the causes of extinguishment of the management. Solution indemnity. Na-mention na natin to kanina. If something is received when there is no right to receive or demand it. Okay? So, ayan po, no? RR. No right to receive. And it was unduly delivered through mistake, but it was given by mistake. The obligation to return arises. That is solution indemnity. Sir, meron ba kasing wala kang right to receive? Tapos, ang pagbigay sa'yo, voluntary. So, this is solution indemnity. Okay? Tapos, wala ka namang karapatang mag-demand. You do not have the right to demand. Say, for example, but it was given to you, not by mistake. Ano ibig sabihin? Voluntarily na binigay. May ganun ba? Meron. Okay? Hindi yun solution indemnity. Example, mga kapatid, no? During Christmas, okay? Yung ninang mo nag-abot ng sobre. Mga kapatid, sobre. May right to demand ka ba from your ninang or ninong? Wala naman eh. Nag-aabang lang po tayo ng biyaya. Okay? But was it given by mistake? Hindi. It was given voluntarily. Ang tawag dyan mga kapatid, donation. Okay? Donation. So in that case, hindi yan solution indemnity. So kung donation yan, okay, you do not have the obligation to return as long as the donation is valid. Uy, papasok yung tax. Donor's tax. Okay, donor's tax. Okay? Sa donor's tax, yung dinonate ba ay movable property, okay? Or immovable or real property. Okay? Kung movable property, is it more than 5,000? Okay? Or 5,000 and below? Ayan po, no? Eh, sir, ano bang significance? Kasi kung 5,000 and below, and ito, no? Verbal or oral donation is valid. Pero kapag more than 5,000, movable property, MP, more, P, 5,000. Okay? Kailangan po in writing. Yan. In order for the donation to be valid. While real property, mga kapatid, always, nagdo-donate ka ng lupa, regardless of the value, it must be in public instrument. Okay? So yan po, no? Ibig sabihin, dapat notarized. Okay? In writing, and the private instrument will be notarized to make it public instrument. Okay? So, hindi yan solution indemnity. You do not have the right to return, or rather, obligation to return. Okay? And you can now retain. Okay. The doctrine, every person who through an act or performance of another or any other means acquires or comes into possession of something at the expense of the latter without just or legal ground shall return the same to him. Ito, may legal ground ka naman. It was given to you voluntarily. Okay? Hindi naman by mistake. Okay? So, yan po. Say for example, the usual, no, solution indemnity. Nagpapalit ka ng cheque. Yung cheque ay 11,000 ang nakalagay po doon. Okay? Pay to Juan de la Cruz, the amount of 11,000. Okay. Tapos yung teller, okay, ang binigay sa'yo, 15,000. O di ibig sabihin, nung binilang mo, sobra ng 4. Okay? Anong dapat mong gawin? Eh, baka ano to? Christmas gift ni teller. Bonus yata ito. Okay? Hindi pwede. Ibabalik mo yan because that is considered as solution indemnity. Wala naman kaming usapan pag sobra ibabalik ko. Di ba? So walang kontrata. As if may kontrata. Because sabi dito, every person who through an act or performance by another or any other means acquires or come into possession of something at the expense of the latter without legal ground shall return the same to him. Because, again, that is an unjust enrichment at the expense of others. Solution indemnity, requisite, payment is made when there is no binding relation between payer and person who received payment. Payment is made through mistake and not through liberality. Not through liberality or donation. Other quasi-contracts, ito na po, no? When a third person without the knowledge of the debtor pays the debt, the right of the former are governed by Articles 1236 and 1237. Padaanan nyo na lang po yung articles na yan. Ang ibig lang sabihin nito, kailangan mo namang i-reimburse yung ibinayad ng third person in your behalf. Any person who is constrained to pay the taxes of another shall be entitled to reimbursement from the latter. Example, mga kapatid, ipasok natin si AFAR. No? AFAR. Sa corporate liquidation, meron tayong mga with priority payments. Okay? One of which is assessment, taxes, and dues. Another is compensation, salaries, wages. And last ay liquidation expense. Okay? Yan po yung expenses incurred and paid by the trustee, yung nagmamanage na ng liquidation. So kung nagbayad po yung trustee in behalf of the corporation na nagle-liquidate, abay siya naman po ang isa sa mga dapat i-prioritize na bayaran. Same goes with the taxes. Kung binayaran naman po, no, ng liquidator yung taxes ng corporation, i-reimburse po siya. That is under quasi-contract. The right and obligation of the finder of lost personal property shall be governed by Article 17, 19, and 1720. So kung naglalakad ka, okay, say for example sa Espanya, at meron kang nakitang wallet, okay, pinulot mo, may pera, wala namang ID, walang, okay, walang information regarding the owner of the wallet as well as yung address. Kung meron sana, okay, edi pwede nating kontakin. Okay, that's your obligation. Pag nakahanap ka ng lost property, hindi po yan finders keepers, no? ibabalik mo under quasi-contract. Okay? Sir, paano pag walang ganon? Wala pong identification, pwede ko na po bang angkinin yung napulot ko? Hindi. Ang gagawin mo, class, according to Article 1719 to 1720, you have to surrender this sa munisipyo or sa City Hall. And magkakaroon sila ng posting, okay, kung sino po ang nakawala, no, lost and found. Pag wala pa rin nag-claim, okay, that's the time na mapupunta na sa'yo as the finder of lost property. Ganun po, legally, pwedeng ganun. Okay? Difference between implied contract and quasi-contract. Okay? Hindi dahil may word na contract ay parehas na sila, no? Pag sinabi nating quasi, this is as if. So hindi talaga siya kontrata, parang kontrata lang siya. Pero pag sinabi nating implied contract, there is an existing contract. Okay? Because there is meeting of the mind. Okay? Hindi nga lang expressly provided, hindi nga lang nakasulat. Requirement of consent? Yes. Kailangan po ng consent because it is an essential element. Say for example, ng implied contract, mga kapatid, sabi natin sa kumpare nating magaling magpintura, pare, okay, alam ko ikaw ay isa sa mga pinakamagaling magpaint. Okay? Pwede bang kontratahin kita na pinturahan mo yung kusina at saka master's bedroom? Okay, 10,000. Yan. Ako nang bahala sa mga materyales. Sabi naman ng kumpare mo, tignan ko pare. Kung may oras ako, kailan ba yan? Bukas pare. Sige, try ko na lang, tignan ko kung pwede. So wala pang meeting of the mind. Wala pang contract. Hindi pa niya ina-accept yung 10,000, hindi pa niya ina-accept yung pag-paint. No? The next day, dumating siya. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Sumipot siya. Tinatanggap niya yung offer. Sinimulan na yung pag-paint. So, hindi siya expressly na nakasulat or may agreement sila na in writing, but it was an implied contract, okay, na after ng pag-paint, babayaran siya ng 10,000. Okay? While quasi-contract, there is no consent because it is a unilateral act without authority. Okay? So take note of that. Ano yung basis? Ang basis po dito sa contract ay will, kagustuhan, kaya pala siya sumipot kasi gusto niyang, okay, makipag-kontrata, which is mag-paint ng room. Pero dito sa quasi-contract, the basis is the law, which requires that no one shall be unjustly enriched at the expense of another. Okay, delict, as we have mentioned kanina, Article 100 of the Revised Penal Code is the basis of civil liability arising from crime. Okay, so every person criminally liable is also civilly liable. That is the general rule. So may exception po dyan. Ano? It provides that every person criminally liable is civilly liable under Article 100. Thus, criminal liability will give rise to civil liability only if the act or omission results in damage to another. Example, mga kapatid, no? Cyber libel. Okay? Mag-ingat po sa pinagpapopost po natin sa Facebook, mga kapatid, no? Kung libelous, no? Tapos pinost mo cyber libel, crime po 'yan. Tapos syempre, it results in damage to another, kaya may mga danyos na sisingilin. Civil obligation po 'yan. Okay? Kagaya po ng mga sa social media, no, yung mga reporter minsan o kaya naman yung nagsusulat sa dyaryo, okay? Ay may mga pa-blind item. Kaya pala blind item para hindi identified kung sino po yung pinapatamaan, no? Pero kung identifiable, uy, mag-ingat-ingat ka. Okay? Dahil pwede kang makasuhan ng cyber libel. And is direct and proximate cause thereof. Effects of acquittal of the accused. Pag ang accused ay hindi yung author, not the author of the act, hindi siya yung gumawa, edi no crime. Kung no crime, wala ding civil liability kasi hindi naman pala siya yung gumawa. Okay? Take note sa criminal aspect, mga kapatid, beyond reasonable doubt ang kailangang quantum of evidence. Kung napatunayang hindi siya yung gumawa ng crime, wala din siyang liability na civil. But if the accused is acquitted based on reasonable doubt, hindi napatunayan na siya talaga ang gumawa, pero may instance or may possibility. Kunyari preponderance. Kaya pala na-acquit kasi yung evidence mababa lang. Okay? So, hindi na-satisfy yung requirement. Sabi nga, it would be better to free, okay, 100, sabi doon, no? Free 100 people or criminals instead of, okay, incarcerating an innocent man. Diba? So, kaya beyond reasonable doubt eh. Mas maganda pang, okay, magkamali tayo kesa magkamali na, sige, pakawalan mo na lang yung criminal, okay, na 100 kesa naman yung ikulong mo ang isang inosente. Kaya beyond reasonable doubt. Sobra ang quantum of evidence dito. So kung may doubt na siya, may possibility siya, okay? Pero doubtful kasi hindi, may instance din na hindi siya, kaya ma-acquit siya. Pag na-acquit, there is no crime. Pero ang civil liability present pa rin because with regard to civil obligation, civil liability, mas mababa yung evidence na kailangan. Preponderance. Okay, so yan po ha. Acquittal. If not the author, walang crime, wala din po siyang civil. If hindi po napatunayan beyond reasonable doubt, wala ding crime, pero may civil obligation. Quasi-delict, whoever by act or omission causes damage to another, there being fault or negligence, is obliged to pay for the same. So take note, meron dapat act or omission. Okay? Causing damage to another. So yung another na yan, injured person. Ang dahilan po ay negligence. Okay? It is obliged to pay for damage done. Such fault or negligence, if there is no. So ito pa yung isang requirement, mga kapatid. No pre-existing contractual relation. So sa quasi-delict, there must be no contract. Yun munang titingnan mo. Wala dapat kontrata. Tapos may negligence. Okay? Tapos nag-result sa injury. Ayan po, no? Due to act or omission. Okay? Ayan po. Or pwede ring wala din pong delict. Hindi po siya finailan ng kaso. Yan. Kasi kung finailan siya, hindi na quasi-delict. Okay? Delict na yan. Okay? Between the parties called quasi-delict. The responsibility for fault or negligence considered as quasi-delict is entirely separate and distinct from civil liability arising from negligence under the Penal Code, and this is the RPC. Ano pong ibig sabihin nito? Okay? Meron kasi class na crime, no? Yung tinatawag nating reckless imprudence. Okay? Reckless imprudence. Hindi po hindi po required, no, na dapat with intent lagi para magkaroon ka ng crime. No. Even if hindi intentional, even if due to negligence resulting to a crime like reckless imprudence, okay? Ang magiging basis mo dito ng source of obligation is delict. Example po, kung nababalitaan natin yung mga truck na bumabangga sa bangketa, nakakaararo ng mga sasakyan, bakit ba nagkaroon ng ganun? Negligence nila. Kunyari, hindi naman nila sinadya. Wala naman po silang intensyon na gawin yon, pero nawalan ng preno, okay, pumutok yung gulong, etc. So these are negligence which resulted to a crime. So if the negligence resulted to a crime at kinasuhan ka, okay, ang source of obligation mo, delict. Ayan po. But if your negligence, kasi entirely separate eh, your negligent act is not resulting to a crime. Hindi po nag-result sa crime. Okay? Example po mga kapatid, ikaw po ay barbero. Okay? Gumugupit ka. Unfortunately, nakaidlip ka. Ang nagupit mo mga kapatid, no? Say for example lang po, ay yung tenga. Ayan po, no? Siyempre, ano yan? Physical injury resulting to a crime. So, pwede mo bang sabihin, hindi ko sinasadya? Siyempre, pwede. So, that's your negligent act. Pwede ka bang mag-sorry? Pwede. Pwede bang dun pa lang settled na at hindi ka papatawarin ka na ng injured person? Pwede. Ganyan po sa totoong buhay. Pwede bang hindi ka niya patawarin? Pwede rin. Unless magbayad ka ng damages? Pwede rin. Okay? So, kung hindi ka kinasuhan, mga kapatid, ng crime pero nagsettle na kayo, may liability ka pa rin arising from your negligent act, and that is quasi-delict. Pero kung kinasuhan ka niya, edi hindi na po quasi-delict. Crime na po yung basis, which is physical injury. Okay? So, reckless imprudence or imprudence resulting to injury, physical injury. Okay? Pero kung sakali man, mga kapatid, no? Fortunately, hindi mo naman nagupit yung kanyang tenga. Yan. Okay? Kaso nga lang, hindi po maganda yung pagkakagupit at kinailangan mo na siyang kalbuhin. Problema yan, mga kapatid. Crime po ba ang pagpapakalbo? Hindi naman. Okay? So, pwede po bang maging injury on the part of nagpapagupit? Kasi yun na lang ang remedy para maging maayos yung itsura ng gupit niya? Kasi hindi na pantay-pantay? Opo. Pwede ka bang maging liable under quasi-delict? O tignan natin. Act or omission causing damage to another. Okay? So, hindi siya crime. Okay? There being fault or negligence, may fault. Okay? And if there is no pre-existing contractual relation, sir, may kontrata ba kami? Uy, teka lang. Ang tanong, yung barbero ba ay owner ng barbershop? Or trabaho lang po niya yon, empleyado po siya? Kasi kung hindi siya yung owner, wala kang pre-existing contractual relation doon sa barbero. Ang kakontrata mo is the owner of the barbershop. Okay? So the injury which resulted from negligence, nakalbo ka, did not result to a crime, hindi naman crime yung pagpapakalbo, pero injured ka. Okay? Probably, meron ka sanang kontrata na mag-advertise ka ng shampoo, di ba? Tapos yung buhok mo yung dapat i-highlight, pero wala ka nang i-highlight. Okay? So, wala nang kontratang possible na magiging pagkakitaan mo. Natanggal ka na doon kasi nakalbo. See, for example lang po. Ngayon, may kontrata ka ba with the yung barbero? Wala. Okay? Ang kakontrata mo is the owner. So, pasok lahat ng mga element. No pre-existing contract, may negligence, merong injury, quasi-delict. So, pwede mong singilin yung barbero based on quasi-delict. Sir, pwede rin po ba na singilin yung owner ng business establishment? Yes. But the basis, the source or legal tie, okay, between the obligor and obligee, in that case, will not be quasi-delict. It will be based on contract. Okay? Pagpasok mo pa lang doon, umupo ka, may meeting of the mind, the act of the employee is the act of the principal owner, so may kontrata na kayo. Okay? Magupit po ako, ganito po yung gupit, etc. Unfortunately, hindi ganun yung lumabas. O kaya naman sa mga babae, di ba? Kasi for example, nagpa-reband, anong nangyari? Unfortunately, nasunog. Kunyari lang, tapos nakalbo. Okay? Kunyari lang po ha. May mga ganun po tayo nakikita sa mga balita, di ba? Anong mangyari doon? Hindi naman pwedeng pasensya na, di ba? So may mga damages kang pwedeng singilin. From the employee, quasi-delict. From the owner, that is contract. Sir, paano po kung yung empleyado siya din po yung owner? O di hindi na po yan quasi-delict because there is already pre-existing contractual relation. It will now be based on contract. So yan po ang tatandaan nyo ha. Okay? The crossover between the so-called culpa, Aquiliana, this is quasi-delict, to culpa, criminal, that is delict, resulting, of course, negligence resulting to a crime, culpa criminal, and to culpa contractual. Ayan po, no? That is a negligence resulting to breach of contract. The elements necessary or requisites to establish quasi-delicts are damage, definitely. Negligence, definitely. Connection of cause and effect. Okay? Such negligence and damage. So, meron tayong negligence. Okay? Meron tayong injury. Okay? We have here cause and effect. Okay? And that there is no pre-existing contractual relations. Okay? So, you have here negligent act. Okay? We have here damage or injury. We have the cause and effect. Okay? And no pre-existing contractual relation. Ayan. So tandaan na lang po yung nice. Negligence, injury, no contract, and there is cause and effect. Okay, so lagyan ko lang din dito na wala din pong crime. Okay, walang delict dapat. Kasi may mga negligent act resulting to a crime. Okay? So kapag ka nag-result to a crime, delict tayo. Ang tawag dyan ay culpa criminal. Yan. May negligent act din na resulting to breach of contract. Ang tawag naman dyan, culpa contractual. Okay, we'll discuss further itong culpa criminal and culpa contractual and culpa quiliana pagdating natin sa Article 1170, the sources of damages. Ayan. Okay? What are the person or who are the persons responsible for the act of quasi-delict of another? O parents sa mga anak. Okay, guardians sa mga ward, no? Kunyari, yung ward ay 8 years old o hindi pa majority age. 12 years old, 15 years old. Guardians po ang magiging responsible to pay for damages. Owners, managers, employers. Okay? Siyempre, kung sakaling wala pong pambayad, no, yung mga employees, okay? So subsidiarily, not solidarily, subsidiarily liable po yung owners, managers, and employers. Sa school, teachers, head of establishment of arts and trades, so mga teachers. And the state in case of parents patrie, the concept of parents patrie. Let's proceed to the doctrine of last clear chance in connection class with negligence. A person who has the last clear opportunity of avoiding an accident, notwithstanding the negligent act of his opponent or the negligence of a third person, which is imputed to his opponent, is considered in law solely responsible for the consequence of the accident. Ibig sabihin, dapat both parties are negligent. Kasi kung isa lang party ang negligent, mga kapatid, siya na ang magiging liable. Okay? Example, mga kapatid, nakapark ka. Okay? Nakapark ka, tama naman yung parking mo doon sa parking slot, no? Wala ka namang ginagawa. Anong ginawa po nung isang sasakyan? Dinadrive po nung negligent person. Okay? Nasagi niya. Okay? So, sino yung liable? Yung nakasagi. Siya yung negligent. Okay? So, siya yung magiging liable for quasi-delict. Kung gusto mo namang kasuhan ng crime, di reckless driving. Pero, pwede naman quasi-delict lang yun. Wag mo na kasuhan. May kontrata ba kayo na dapat nakapark ka dyan sa ganitong oras tapos babanggain ka niya? Wala naman. Kasi hindi naman yan movie na dapat may ganung eksena, di ba? But if both parties are negligent, I should say, they perform negligent act, no? Ang sabi ng doctrine of last clear chance, the person who has the last opportunity to prevent the accident from happening but failed to do so. Okay? Prevent dapat pero hindi niya ginawa, siya ang magiging liable. Okay. Example po, no? I will illustrate the doctrine of last clear chance based on the case of Picard versus Smith. Okay, Picard. Yan. Pwede nyo pong tingnan sa online, no? Ito po yung jeepney driver. Kunyari, jeepney driver nasa bridge. Okay? Malayo pa lang, class, nakikita na niya yung kalesa na, of course, may kutsero dyan, no? Nag-swerve, gumigewang-gewang na, papunta sa lane niya, pabalik. Hindi makontrol yung kabayo ng kutsero. Okay? Kung ikaw yung jeepney driver, what is your action? Okay? Either tumigil ka, itabi mo, kung kaya mo mag-reverse ka. Pero syempre, may mga sasakyan sa likod. So, in order for you not to be negligent, itabi mo. Okay? Kung kaya mong iwasan mo. Kasi negligent na po yung kutsero nung hindi na niya makontrol yung kabayo, yung kalesa niya. In this case, ang ginawa ng jeepney driver with the intention na iwasan din, binilisan niya. Nag-accelerate siya. Okay? Para unahan hanggat hindi pa nagsuswerve sa kabila, sa lane niya. Unfortunately, eksakto nung pagka-swerve, nabangga din niya yung kalesa. Okay? So, both parties are negligent in this case. Yung kotsero, definitely, kasi hindi mo makontrol yung kabayo. Okay? Yung jeepney driver din, negligent din siya. Dahil yung pag-accelerate, okay, instead of slowing down or pagtabi, negligent act yun. Okay? Kahit ang intention mo, iwasan yun. Di ba? Kasi mas malaki yung chance na magka-aksidente. Yan. Ano sabi ng doctrine of last clear chance? A person who has the last clear opportunity of avoiding. So, sino yung may last opportunity to avoid the accident from happening? It is not the kutsero kasi hindi na niya makontrol. It is the jeepney driver. Okay? Notwithstanding the negligent act of his opponent. Negligent naman siya. Siya naman yung papunta na sa lane ko. Kinain niya yung lane. Di ba? Right of way ko yun. Okay? Hindi po laging ganun, mga kapatid, ha? Hindi po laging right of way, right of way. Okay? Lalo na yung mga naka-hazard. Okay? Naka-hazard, no? Kasi emergency. Okay? Negligent na sila kasi nag-swerve na sila. Hindi na nila lane, no? Say for example lang 'yon, emergency. Tapos talagang they are taking risk na pasukin yung linya, okay? Pero ikaw naman instead na tumabi ka, abay binilisan mo pa. Ganun yung nangyayari normally sa kalsada, no? Okay? China-challenge pa, bibilisan pa. Alam naman ng naka-hazard at tas biniblinkeran na, no? Negligence po ba yung overtake tapos yung lane niya one way tapos pinasok niya? Yes. Pero again, dapat hindi ka rin negligent. Kasi pag binangga ka niya at ikaw naman po ay maingat, liable siya kasi siya yung bumangga. Pero kung ang ginawa mo, negligent ka din, tapos instead na umiwas, ikaw pa ay kagaya ng jeepney driver, binilisan mo din, invoking na yan ay right of way mo, okay? Makikita doon na ikaw yung may last opportunity na umiwas pero hindi ka umiwas. And in that case, both parties are negligent. And ang sabi ng doctrine of last clear chance, ang magbabayad ng damage, solely responsible for the consequence of the accident, is the person who has the last opportunity to prevent the accident from happening but failed to do so. In this case, it is the jeepney driver who is liable. Okay, so that is for the doctrine of last clear chance. Ganon din po ang nangyari sa totoong buhay, mga kapatid. Okay? And illustrative example, Mang Chuper was driving the jeep of Mr. Owner at a speed of 100 km per hour along Espanya Boulevard. Mga kapatid, negligent na po si Mang Chuper. Ang hirap po na tumakbo ng 100 km sa Espanya sa traffic, mga kapatid. No? Probably, okay, just for illustration, maluwag yung kalsada, no? Tapos 100 km, hindi dahil walang traffic, mayroon ka ng karapatan or right to, okay? Accelerate up to 100 km. No, meron pa ring limit, mga kapatid. No? Hindi naman ito NLEX, SCTEX, no? O kaya naman dyan sa south, no? Yung mga expressway. Kung 100 km sa expressway, yan po ay maingat. Yan ay within the limit. So you are not negligent. Pero sa Espanya, hindi na po yan within the limit. So you are now acting, Mang Chuper, negligently. Unfortunately, the brake of the jeep malfunctioned, thereby bumping into a concrete barrier. So, ibig sabihin, resulting to injury. Resulting to damages, I should say. Okay? So, ano na yun? Reckless imprudence, no? And this is a crime under revised penal code, mga kapatid. Aside from this, abay, nag-result pa sa death of one of his passenger. Okay? So, reckless imprudence resulting to a crime. Okay? And in this case, maliban po sa resulting to damage to property, meron ka pang resulting to homicide. Di ba? Imagine that, no? Namatay kasi hindi naman po yan murder kasi hindi naman intentional, no? It is homicide. So, makakasuhan ka ba? Yes, mga kapatid. Okay? Kung ikaw si Mang Chuper. Kung makakasuhan ka pala, Mang Chuper, what is the source of your obligation? Okay? What is the source of your obligation? As the driver, and what's the source of obligation of Mr. Owner as the owner? Mga kapatid, yung sa passenger, okay, the obligation ng employer sa passenger kasi may kontrata sila will be based on contract. So that's the source of obligation. Okay? Doon sa employer, kontrata po 'yan. Yan. Sir, patay na po siya. Sino po yung tatanggap? Syempre, mga kapatid, okay? Yung heirs, okay? Ng passengers or kung sino man po yung kapamilya. Ang source of obligation po ni employer towards the passenger, contract. The source of obligation of the driver towards the heirs of the passenger or yung passenger, dalawa. Pwede po na quasi-delict kung hindi siya kakasuhan. Una, tandaan po yung nice. Meron bang negligent act si driver? Meron. May injury po ba? Namatay po Okay? Yung passenger. Nakabangga ng barrier. May kontrata po ba? Wala pong kontrata. There is no pre-existing contract. And cause and effect. Yung cause po ba ay yung negligent act and the effect is the injury? Yes. Okay? Pero dagdagan mo. Kinasuhan ka ba ng crime? Kung hindi, quasi-delict. Ayan po Pero normally, syempre, okay, ikukulong muna yung driver, huhuliin, okay? Tapos, kakasuhan ng reckless imprudence. So kung may kaso, reckless imprudence, Article 365 of the Revised Penal Code. Okay? You can check on this, mga kapatid, no? Article 365. Reckless imprudence resulting to homicide. Namatay po yung passengers. Di may delict ka. Okay? Crime. Pwede kang ikulong. Criminal liability. Pero yung civil, ang source of obligation mo, civil obligation is delict. So dalawa po ang sabi natin kanina. Kung ikaw yung driver, pwedeng delict or pwedeng quasi-delict. Kung kinasuhan ka, delict. Kung hindi ka kinasuhan, quasi-delict. Okay? So hindi po yan. Thank you. Ngayon, hindi po ba contract ang source of obligation? Hindi. Kasi hindi mo naman kakontrata ang passenger. The employer ang kakontrata. Okay. Now, sir, yung crime, criminal liability, sino lang po yung liable for the crime? Ang crime, mga kapatid, ay personal in nature. So kung personal in nature, the driver is only liable for the crime. Okay? Wala pong crime ang employer. Okay? Pero yung civil liability, sir, sino po yung liable for the civil aspect for damages? Ayan. So for the damages, okay, employer is liable based on contract. The driver is liable based on delict or quasi-delict. Okay? Sa totoong buhay, mga kapatid, delict yan. Delict. Kasi nga, kakasuhan siya. Okay? Kakasuhan siya for reckless imprudence under Article 365. So, delict yan. Pero kung nag-agree, no, na may settlement, quasi-delict probably. Kaso nga lang, may namatay Buti sana kung banggaan lang ng sasakyan. Tapos, ayusan lang ng gas-gas, no? Pero hindi po, buhay po pinag-usapan. Kaya, delict po yan. Now, ang sabi po ng batas, sa criminal aspect, personal. It is only the driver. Sa civil liability, lalagyan ko to class ng primarily, ang liable, primarily, yung driver. But subsidiarily, syempre, si driver nakakulong na po. Wala na po siyang pagkukunan ng pambayad doon sa pamilya nung naulila, no? O yung mga naulila, I should say. O kaya naman pagpapaayos ng barrier. Okay? So subsidiarily, it is the employer who will be held liable. Hindi po solidarily, subsidiarily. So pag sinabing subsidiary, pag hindi makapagbayad, yung employee, the employer can be held liable. Siya naman ang hahabulin. Okay? And I am, of course, highlighting, mga kapatid, na ang source of obligation sinasabi natin dito, okay, ay delic or quasi-delic for civil liability. Hindi po pwedeng subsidiarily sa crime si employer. Subsidiary naman sa civil, pwede. Okay, so take note of this. And let us have a recap, mga kapatid, ng mga na-discuss natin. Definition of obligation, elements of obligation, sources of obligation, kinds of quasi-contract, doctrine of last clear chance. Okay? And the next topic, nature and effect of obligation, Article 1163 to 1174, different kinds of fruits, ground for liability to pay damages, and fortuitous event. Okay, so this ends our discussion on the first part, okay, ng law on obligation and contract.